He's that good boy. You're a good boy. You little crocodilo. He put his paws up.
There we go.
All right. Okay. So here are the 3 paint swatches we chose. We decided that we wanted to go like a really creamy white. So we chose 2 whites to swatch. And then we wanted to go for a bit of a bold left of center option. And we actually chose a green. But we kind of weren't really that impressed with any of them, really.
It looks really good on the swatch. It's like, what's it, a pale olive.
It's called like stone olive or something.
And it looks really nice on the swatch. It's like really subtle olive colour, which we thought, if you're going to go bold, it would be a nice option, but it just turns out grey. It doesn't really look that great.
Yeah, I really didn't want a grey colour. Like accent cladding is a really modern look, and a lot of people will do them in like a surf mist grey, which is like I think the most popular colour for cladding. And then you've got your whites, and then you've got those really bold colours, those deep blues and those like almost blacks. But being a coastal house, we were thinking would go a creamy white, but the whites look quite bright even though they're creamy.
Yeah, they still come across pretty pale, where we wanted some of the yellows and some of the pale beiges to come through, but not too strongly. But the two of them just seem so bright together, especially against our black windows. They're quite a stark contrast.
And the reason we didn't go a black cladding is because we want those windows that we handmade to really pop out. Like the windows are the feature of the exterior of the house. So yes, we don't want to just make them blend into a colour. This is actually the creamier of the whites. This one is a bit brighter white. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but this is kind of like a step up in shades, and this is like a creamier colour. It's really hard to tell. And without the context of a bright white, it just looks like a bright white.
Yeah,
so
that's very true.
It does make the black windows pop. So this is our safe bet, and this is probably the lead in terms of colours. Obviously, there's a lot to do to make the house look complete. And it's hard, when you're choosing your colours, it's actually really hard to picture the finished product. The colour of the house isn't what we want to draw attention to. We're going to be landscaping this entire part of the home. So we're going to have like beautiful coastal native plants. We're going to have a beautiful tree here. We're going to have a deck that comes out here. We've got an outdoor shower going in.
There's a rainwater tank.
Rainwater tanks. We've got a gravel that will go in for our gravel garden.
You mean it won't always just be sand dirt?
It won't always be dirt.
What a life.
So you have to make sure you remember the layers that are coming down the line when you start choosing your paint swatches, because not everything. Sorry, the camera died mid roll, but essentially I was just saying, when you're choosing your color swatches for your house, make sure you have in mind your future design for the home. So think about your hardscaping. Are you going to have your decks? What are your treatments for your windows, etc.? And then think about your softscaping and your landscaping, and then make sure you think everything coming together when you choose that, because this looks really crap when you have just dirt and unfinished windows. So we're just going to need to make sure that we keep that in mind. We're going to head into getting some things done so we can get this painted.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to go.
Brad's going to seal with silicone.
No,
he's not.
You can use a James Hardie sealant, so it's the same sealant that we used as an adhesion for the panels, which is also a great bond and joint sealant. So we're going to be using that with a nice big sausage gun, basically sealing up all of our door frames, all of our window frames, joins, connections to the fascias here, and basically just get it all rock solid. It's a brilliant adhesion. It's also quite flexible, and it's really great for outdoors, and it's paintable. So this is all, it ticks all our boxes.
And I'm going to fill in all the nail gun holes with a wood filler. Is it a wood filler? I've been using this super filler, and it's actually really by Nordsjo. I definitely said that wrong. But this is really easy to use, and it like goes on really easily straight into the hole, and you can do it pretty quickly. So I'm going to get filling the holes, Brad's going to get sealing, and fingers crossed we can go out this afternoon and get the paint. One of the most exciting parts about this side bit of the house is that I have the most amazing veggie garden plans. we're just not there yet. But one day I want to turn this space into a little oasis for my veggie garden. Now, if you know this channel, you know me, you know that I absolutely love gardening and I have such plans for this area. But once we start working on the outside, this is going to be one of the first things I get my hands on, and I'm very excited. Just imagine what we could do with this space. Here we go. We've just got our paint.
A bucket of British paints. Never tried British before.
This is the first time.
This is going to be a first of British 4 seasons, so keen to see how it goes.
Yes. At Bunnings, of course. If you know, you know. If you're Australian, you'll know what that hammer means.
If you could smell the sausages, you'd know.
It's chilly. Hi! Today is painting day. Brad's just here.
I'm just here.
With his drills. We're going to paint the exterior today. We have to do it. We're going away next week and we really need to protect the exterior. It's been on for a while. What's the recommendation? You paint it within
7 days within a coastal area, but we're quite protected. We are near the coast, but we're quite protected here, so it's not too bad. We don't get any of the salt winds and waters and things like that. So,
but sooner the better.
Yeah, I think it's a month after installation. I think is the optimum time. Otherwise, so we. Good morning.
Good morning, mate.
So yeah, it's definitely something that we want to get onto sooner than later. But as Sam said, we just want to wrap up this house, get it nice and weathertight, paint, protect our nice new cladding, so that when we go away,
we don't have to worry about
peace of mind.
Yeah. So we've gone with a. Sorry, I was looking for the samples. We've gone with the creamy white because we think it will contrast with the windows.
Yeah.
Brad's going to take off the bottom rail, and the kind of it'll start to look like it's finished. You know, house.
Exactly right.
And we're just gonna get painting. It's very exciting.
That's it.
Little sunflower face.
The plan of attack, I'm gonna go in with a brush. God, it's dirt in my shoe. Ugh. I'm going to go in with a brush because obviously with the accent cladding there are grooves everywhere that the roller's not going to be able to get into. So I'm going to start with the brush and then Brad's going to come back through and roll over the brush lines and give a really thick, lovely coat with the roller, and hopefully that'll give us the finish that we're looking for. Like this, I know we're so far off things, but finishes are a nice fit. You really should start up over here.
Just gonna do that, or?
Sorry, I was actually just telling you
before you
because
said anything.
No.
So one of the best tips that we've learned from painting our V-groove ceilings, and now obviously the accent cladding, which has a little bit of this groove line here, which is more of like a shiplap join, is getting a nice finish on your paintwork is quite difficult when you have to try and brush in between there. So one of the best things to do is go over with a paintbrush like Sam's doing behind me here. With such joy. What a task. Painting in the groove with a paintbrush and then going straight back over it again with a little roller. So what that does is that helps smooth out all your paint lines over the top of the groove, but really gets the paint inside, so that when we're ready to hit it with the big roller, we have a really nice smooth texture transition of paint, and you don't have to see those the paint lines and the brush strokes behind your rolled paint. So this gives a really nice consistent finish across the house, but also make sure that you get paint right in those grooves.
Lucky you hadn't started filming.
Oh no, I got that.
Oh no!
It's gonna be some weird footage.
Also, the best renovation tip anybody could ever give anyone is to keep any yogurt container you ever have, or butter container. Like, we literally have a cupboard full of containers, and they come in handy. Isn't that right?
That they absolutely do. And you can put a lid on it, so you can just keep your paint in a little tiny little store tub for when next time you need
waste
it.
It doesn't dry out. It's so convenient.
Recycle, reuse.
If I were a yogurt company, that's how I would.
If I were a yogurt,
That's how I would market.
that's how I would want to be used.
Oh my god. So, you know. Here is the reality of renovation. We have to paint the wall over a mound of dirt that we can't move yet because we have nowhere to put it yet, in the rain. So if you too have a mound of dirt, or your house feels chaotic and you think, why can't I get my shit together? Let me tell you something. That's just renovation life.
You won't get your shit
You
together.
won't get your shit together until the very, very, very end. So just keep going, lower those expectations, and roll with it. And that's my motivational speech for today.
I mean, it looks hella cute with that little archway.
Looks cute with what?
The archway.
I know, I'm obsessed.
My little cheese. It's such a weird spot to be on the wall.
It stopped raining for a second. The sun has come out. We're gonna get as much done as we possibly can. In and out. We're in and out, but that's okay. We're gonna get it done. This is a tall wall.
It's a very tall wall.
I'm going from here, mate. We are officially ready to roll. Aren't we, Brad?
Yeah.
He's just getting the paint ready. It certainly already looks lighter and brighter. Oh la la! Yes, Brad. Look at that. It's a bit of an upper body challenge. So good.
Oh dear.
And that is why I can't sit in those. He's now tapping me.
Players were checking it out pre-game, especially the Saints. Have been consistent again.
We've got some sunset painting happening.
Eagles and Saints from off the stadium. Reed was after a deal. Shallow though, bouncing ball up for Barry. Around that time corner. Line for the Saints.
What difference does it make?
Yeah, no place for that in the game or society for that matter. Saints, what about the fallout from last night? Great win for the Bulldogs with the Eberharts handed out a couple of suspensions today.
Yeah, so Sam Darcy has been on
We had to wait for it to not be dark to finally show you the painting.
Yeah, it was a couple of late nights and big days just to try and get a couple of coats on this.
But with a couple of coats, it looks really good. I'm glad we went with that creamy white colour. I think that the doors will really pop, so these bifold doors will be painted black soon, and you can see the laundry door over here. Can you? I think I'm standing in the way.
just, there you go, you can see it there. So yeah, it's come up really nice. I may do a third coat in some of the areas that maybe look a little bit light on, plus it's always best to do just another top coat to make sure you've got nice protection. But otherwise, it's actually come up really, really nicely.
And of course, we will clean up the fascias and paint them so they'll look really schmick in the end. And we need to redo all of our very old and rusted guttering. But it is the first step to having our exterior look a little bit refreshed.
Yeah, that's right. And not worrying about too much heat loss from the outside, and it's nice and weather wrapped, so we're protecting the new part of the house. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's finally starting to move
Yeah.
inside now, which is great. 'Cause
When you look from this angle and you've got the black holes and the laundry, which is all the parts we're working on now, like it actually, you can see what it's gonna.
the makings of a
Yeah,
finished house.
it's actually starting to come together, which is really exciting. So thank you for joining us again.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it, and we always read the comments. In fact, it's the highlight of our day when
We
get
live the comments. Good and bad.
not bad. But we get a lot of joy out of engaging with everyone because, you know, if you're in a renovation journey, some days are just absolute highs, some days are
Absolute lows.
absolute lows, and we love doing it with you. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the next one.
Stay tuned.
Bye.